How's it going, everybody? It is Lockhart here, and today we are going to be talking about solo leveling, a game that I've been kind of waiting on and really excited for. So let's get into it. I've gotten a chance to play on it for quite a bit. I finally got it working on the mobile phone as well. I am in Canada, so for once we have early access in something, and it's really exciting because I don't have to deal with no VPN issues. And generally, when it comes to things like this, and somewhere else gets early access, I just take the hit and start late. Right, so I saw some people saying it was like an open beta, blah blah blah, but it's early access, and boy, is that an issue for me. So let's get into it a little bit. That screen you just saw there pops up every time you log in. You don't have a choice, especially on the PC client, which is a 1.0.11, whereas on the iPhone, it's the 1.0.9. So I'm not sure if that means or matters in any way, shape, or form, but on PC the game looks absolutely amazing. I love the way that it looks. I'm glad that one of the things I mentioned when it came to my play was that Sung Jinwoo was Jinwoo. I'm gonna have to get used to that. I have been reading it as Jinwoo for such a long time, so it's gonna take me a hot minute to get adjusted to it. But when you have your character, or when you read the manual, one of the coolest things is that like he is and becomes a fashionable guy. You know, like he goes from like a bit of a loser nobody into this, really cool looking fella. You know, this is more or less very similar to what he wears when he's an E rank before he levels up. Obviously, he looks a little bit different, but when he grows stronger after his second awakening and working out, he gains some fashion sense. In the game, you get 4 outfits pretty early on, which is kind of legit, and all of which are hella cool. None of it really being in the manual, but I love the fact that, like, you know, I liked the manual for the fashion to a degree. Right, this is like him being in a total suit is always like something I think is super awesome, and then him going into more of this is when he gets his necromancer class, would be something like this, and it would be nice to see when he becomes full on.
Let's try.
Spoiler alert. Anyway, you guys know. If you know, you know. Anyway, so I thought that was cool that they added in. Okay. I'm actually going to start off with a bunch of things I thought were very perplexing with the game thus far. So I have just to show on camera real quick, you're going to have to zoom in a bit, but there's a little phone there. This is an iPhone 8 Plus, which the game runs on low settings. It almost never crashes, which is crazy because this phone is dated. Okay, you can look up how old that phone is. Someone leave that in chat, in the comments, please, and thank you. But it's an old phone, and it plays pretty okay. It's an iPhone 8 Plus, and playing it on the PC has felt pretty okay so far. However, you know, I've encountered a lot of weird things that I don't like. Like every time I have to re-log in, that notice pops up, and there is no icon that lets me click it and cancels that notification for the rest of the day. No, every time I log in, I gotta see the damn thing again. You know, and there are a lot of login issues in this game. At least in the PC client, you know. I'm running it pretty well, I'd say. You know, it's not too much of an issue. But every time you start or finish a stage or you claim something here or there, it is super not feels good. When it logs, it takes a really long time to load. Like this spinning wheel, I get a lot, and like a lot of what I played previously in the last bit is like me waiting to click onto the next thing, which I cannot do because it's just loading, you know. And for me, that is annoying. I'm trying to rip through the game, and I'm just like, well, I'm stuck loading, and this comes in, and this happens a lot when you finish a stage. This happens a lot when well, it happens a lot when you finish a stage or whatever. some of the other issues I have too are like, how do I say it? When you finish a stage, there is this teeny tiny potential thing where like you may actually be stuck on that end screen with nothing to happen. I'll kind of just like throw in some B-roll from like the stream that I did, but it is crazy. Like, how can I just really don't understand how we're like as far as we are in the game's development and whatnot, and we have that as an issue. And I feel like it's probably because it relies on like a server network, which games that deal with like having to always be connected to the server to obviously, I guess, prevent like hacking and this, that, and the other, it just sucks. Like, it just doesn't feel good to like go through a stage and then have to like deal with that end of the loading screen. I think that's just weird. Okay. The stages are challenging and that's good. But the one thing I don't quite understand why they didn't just dig more into it is like the ranking system that they picked for this.
Too slow.
You know? Like, I don't get it. Like, why didn't they just, like, the manhwa had already kind of gave them options to actually like have a built-in ranking system that you could use, like E going all the way to S, and then again, spoiler alert territory goes to national, and then you could argue like going into like a divinity level as well. You know what I mean? Like, they could have done that. Like, some of these characters I don't think should be on the same level, you know? Like Chiu's song, like, I mean, look, listen, I don't hate the guy or anything, but he shouldn't be that strong, you know? Even Kang over here, who's like, whatever, like, he shouldn't, like, he clearly outclassed Chiu, and so it makes no sense that they are the same. Like, they shouldn't both be SR rarities, you know? They should have just did the E through S, you know? Like, I don't know. You know, that like confused me, and I feel like they took away that opportunity of like one properly having like the difference between a real S rank hero or S rank character from the book and an S rank character from the game. So like when it gets a little bit later on, and like they introduce national or nation level or national level, I can't remember, I'm so sorry guys. When they introduce national level or nation level hunter, like, did this guy bug out? Like, he's literally doing nothing. This is sick. Like, I mean, like, cause it's like, you know, supposed to be a harder stage or whatever. Like,
it was a good fight.
They didn't like. Oh, this screen is the one I'm talking about. Yes, whatever. I just don't. I don't know. It's a weird. As I'm talking about it, it sounds weird to be complaining about like a rarity system. Like, who cares, really? But as a person who read the manhwa like a bunch of times, you know, like, it makes sense when you're power scaling the MC, and this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the loading. This is crazy, because I can't do anything, and I have to wait to click. And so this takes so long. So it just feels like it doesn't make any sense for it to take away from that. Like, they already provided it. I don't see why they didn't just double down on that, so that way they could have more room. Because, like, what are they going to do? Like, after SSR, when, like, national, I keep forgetting, sorry, guys. When those tiered heroes or hunters come in, they're just going to make them the same as everybody else. Like, I feel like that doesn't make sense, you know? Like Ryujin? What's his name? The Japanese guy. Like, he's not the same level as any of like the current. Like, he is most definitely above. you know, and I just feel like that's just a missed opportunity. It doesn't break the game. I don't think it's going to change whether or not I'm going to play the game anyway, but I just feel like it's just a missed opportunity. I do think when it comes to
I'll break through with my own
the
strength.
gacha system, the regular gacha system, or the standard banner, if you will.
Time
The standard
to
banner
warm up.
is okay. In the amount of pulls I've done so far, I've only gotten one SSR something, and that's the scythe that
You can't
the
avoid
Sun Jimmu is using right now. Like, that's the only thing that I have that is an SSR. I don't have an SSR character at all. I do not have another SSR weapon. You can and will collect those and some more of those in time, right? Normal. That's totally okay. However, I feel like at the amount of pulls that I've done so far,
Take this
I
and open it.
should have hit the 50-50 sooner. And I feel like I mean, this could be due to the fact that it's because it's early on in the game and there isn't like a huge pool of units. But I feel like it's just, man, I'm not getting nothing. Now, that doesn't mean that the game's unplayable by any means. It's just a very not good feeling, and it doesn't feel great when you're like kind of putting in a lot of time clearing stages and not getting that many SSRs. Like, you would have at least gotten at least one unit by now, you know, and I've just gotten nobody. So it is what it is. That's okay. You know, we live. I feel like there was something else. This is fine. Gates are fine. This key system for the gates, that's okay. Like, it's a patience thing. You do it throughout the day. You're not supposed to slam it out all in one go. Like, you know, you're supposed to do it a bit at a time and, you know, kind of somewhat be picky with what you choose and whatnot, so that way you're not wasting your mining times, which is fair. Dailies, okay. All right, if I run into anything else that I don't like, I'll jump right back into it, because honestly I have zero issues complaining about the things that I don't like. Let's go into things that I feel like they've already done well, and I feel like this is showing a lot of their experience from previous games. Okay, auto enhancing, the auto system in general, the things that you can auto, the things that you can sweep, which I also classify under auto. I think that is amazing to see out the gate. You know, like, as some of y'all know me as like an auto play, like I like auto features. I do not think there's ever a reason not to have some form of auto in there, just to like help with farming, just to help with that grindy stuff, because it's like people who play manual will play manual to get sweaty, to get good, to get that clout, to get that max DPS, to min-max all that stuff, you know? There are people that will do that every day of the week, and an auto will not take away from that unless there is no full auto option, obviously, okay? So they have that in your enhancements, they have that in your gates, they have that in regular play. They have semi-auto where you can pick your skills when to use them, and they have full auto where it just uses everything including your ultimate, which is sick. Okay, a lot of these things would probably come in as like a quality of life upgrade, quality of life change, but guess what? You are just straight up getting it when you turn on the game. You don't have to unlock it going through stages, really. It just kind of happens organically as you're playing through it, and that I think is incredible. I think it's incredible because it makes it easy. It helps a lot of other players like myself. If you don't know what kind of gamer I am, you can watch some of my other videos where I kind of talk about what kind of gamer I am, but just to let you know, I'm a little bit more on the lazy side. Like, whatever, man, you know, I can get sweaty if I want to, but generally I'm just out here to have fun and catch the vibes, okay? And anyway, so the things like this where you can like go all, like, you know, you have an abundance of tickets. No, or like, you know what? I need to farm these gloves. You're just going to do this one stage times 3. some games struggle to give you this. I will give you Final Fantasy 7 Ever Crisis just got ×9. We were struggling with just ×3 for a while. They did 369 not too long ago, and that changes the game. You know, it makes the game feel better, smoother, faster, and like it's great because then you can start working on the other things that you want to do. You know, and that's what this is. Like, you know, being able to do this is like, you know, I'm just looking for gloves right now, blah blah blah. I'll do that a whole bunch of times. Boom, I'm done. I'm good to go. Wait, no, I need chess pieces. You know what? I'm gonna do that 3 times. Boom, done. You know, and you only get these 3 times a year, so 3 times a day. So you can't, unless you spend gems to get more tries. You're probably just gonna farm for those 1 pieces, do any one of these things, and keep it nice and easy. Dailies feel so good, so fast, and that is always a plus in my books. You know, not struggling to finish your dailies when you're under a time crunch is nice, you know. And you can, and they also do, so they do, your farming things are where you need your stamina, okay? But if you're just going through the story, you can go as far as until you are not able to go further, aka you're getting through whatever one of these stages and you're just getting slapped because you're not strong enough, right? And so like at that point in time, you go through your farming stages, you try to upgrade your gear. Okay, that's enough. Well, you're done. Sorry, man. That's it. Unless you spend RIL money, what else are you gonna do, right? Nothing. You just, if you've capped, you've capped. And I think low key that's kind of sick, and I think that's nice. You know, it does balance it out. Does it make it a little bit more pay to win? Yeah, it does. But like, in order for the game to live, people gotta pay anyway, and they gotta make money somehow. So it's not necessarily like something I'm gonna be moaning and groaning about. You know, like this game will not be fully tailored for me. This game will be full. This game is tailored for everyone. You know, it's just not fully tailored. It's not fully tailored to any single individual. You know, but like a lot of people can come in and like have a good time with it, is my point. So the auto system, huge bonus for me. Character wise, the usage of character, meaning that some stages you can use Sung Jin-woo, some other stages you can use only your other hunter. We'll call them the supporting cast, okay? The supporting cast is a 3-person team. You can use them when in certain stages, and then you can use Sung Jin-woo, who uses 3 of your supporting cast. They just come in, do some attacks, whatever, and others, right? In story mode, generally it's Sung. In side stories, it's a totally different character, which is like kind of crazy and somewhat annoying sometimes. Like, I don't want to use that one old man from the beginning of the manhwa because, like, for a lot of reasons, right? Like, I feel bad for him, but I never even liked him as a character. I'm kind of like, whatever. And then when you start to like him at the end of his time, it's just kind of like, well, that's that. You know? So I'm not gonna hate on any of that. The characters are cool, attacks are cool, feels good. On PC, they all look phenomenal, so great. Excuse me. I was a little iffy about not having having different weapons for Sung, but like, it's sick. So like, using the Shadow Scythe is super nice. All these are things that he can use that he actually uses. It's not like an item for fun. You get me? Like, it's an item. Like, it's a weapon that he puts on that changes the way he auto attacks. Your skills are the same, but they have a special auto attack, like a special skill as well that comes onto each of the weapons. But the autos changed a little bit. Like, I haven't used this yet, but I'm stewing on it. Okay, I'm stewing on it. And like, it also changes your element too, because these all these ones provide a different element, right? So it's pretty cool to kind of see that and have that as an option. And guess what? You want to change your build? Put it over here. Like, you know, you have your you do have to change the stats, which you do have to pay for, and whatever. But like, you know, maybe I have like I have one where he's like super long. He starts off long range, and then he has like a mid-range weapon here. and then I change up his skills to be more long range. Ideally, I probably put another long range weapon, and then he just becomes long range. You know, and then I have like a mage loadout. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I mean, it's not nice that it takes like a billion years to load, but like anyway. Okay, so characters are good. Combat, as you've seen, is good. Auto is nice. Weapons, changes, artifacts, whatever, and that's kind of the smaller bits of it. I feel like the combat is really good, and that's always like a huge plus when you do have like strong combat. I don't re-roll. I live with what I get. If it's good, amazing. If it's not, then it's not. And then I just cry about it alone where nobody can see me. So I think the only other thing that oh yes, okay. So okay, pity system super sucks. I hope it gets overhauled, but because it's not a beta and it's actually wow, I got another one of these. This is brutal. The other thing about it is that like you get so many weapons, you don't get as many characters, and I thought you would get like more. I thought, and obviously I'm living in a bubble saying this out loud, I thought that I probably would have at least gotten I don't know, like at least one character, even if it's an SR character. I thought I would at least have gotten one character from time to time. But I don't even get one character from time to time. You know, like it already feels rare to get an SR unit, which is like at this point it's like, you know, whatever, but it is what it is. But it would have been nicer to be able to like start leveling up my SR units, seeing as how I primarily have SR units, and you do have to use them in some of the stages, right? Like either as a third wheel or even main characters in like the challenge stages, or the yeah, some of the challenge modes, I guess you could say. So it's just weird that like the amount of characters that you get are like super infrequent. Y'all get me? So my last thing, and again, this isn't like, I don't think it'll make or break the game, is the fact that why aren't there like I thought there would be more focus on his shadows, I want to say. I thought it would have been more of like an emphasis there, and like it's very obvious that it isn't, right? Like the characters are the characters, and you do get them as like a supporting role. So this, you know, like in this scenario, like, oh, I'll choose these three, and it's just like, oh, this one's like really weak this stage, so I'll switch her for somebody else, you know, so that way I'm not like taking somebody that does less damage.
Let's go together.
So I have to level these characters up, so that way like it makes my life a bit easier. And then you go to these ones where you can see it's a 3-man raid party, right? Because you do that, and then you have to use these 3 characters in there, and it's just again, why no more dupes? And I thought because it's the game, I thought there would just be more focus on him being like moving up into his thing, and like these 3 would actually be more of like the shadows you could build and like evolve, you know? Like for some reason in my mind at some point I was going to use like Igris, the bear, and the mage orc, you know, and then later on get like, you know, like the other ones that are in like the at the back end of like the book, the manual, or even along the way like kind of customize like, you know, like stock shadows and make them stronger and make them tailored to do different things. And then like when you're on the field with Sung, like the other 3 like shadows would come out and kind of do their own thing, and if they die you have to res them, and that uses MP. And I thought that would have been, I was so sure that was going to be the direction they were going to go in, but I guess it's not, and that's okay, you know, because like, oh, like the elf sleep, and like in the books you don't get that elf, but maybe in the game you do, because I've seen that they've changed things and moved things around, you know.
I'm ready.
And so I thought that was going to be cool. But I know I understand like the gacha system at that point would probably be more
Time
like
to
tailored
warm
towards weapons rather than like characters,
Come on.
you know, and there are like characters that you want to focus on, blah 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 and whatever. So that's nice, but I don't know. That's just me. So that's it. Honestly, otherwise I am really enjoying the game. I like the combat, feels impactful, sound is pretty good. Music, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not crazy about the music. And I thought I would be, but I haven't entered any moment yet where like it shouldn't matter, so it's fine. But I'm hoping at some point in time the music gets really lit, because like let's be real, it's still like a Korean game or a Korean manhwa, so and made by a Korean company, and yo, like throw in some K-pop or like some K-hip hop or something, you know, and like get it, like create the vibe. It's just like, where is it? Like it doesn't exist. The vibe is nowhere to be seen, and I just assume like Korea in terms of current pop culture evolving around like
I'll cut you in an
a lot of
instant.
fashion and a lot of music. Like two of those things would have been a little bit more prevalent, considering the character has drip and
An opening.
music. Anyway,
You can't avoid
that's kind of it on my end. I'm still going to continue on. The fact that it has full auto gives me full access to this game, makes me feel really good about playing it, makes me feel like I'm going to really work on the characters that I will pick, as well as how to make sure that I would tailor them for auto play. Like, you know, sometimes it might be on a tank rank, sometimes it might be like some sort of hyper carry with like 2 healers or something. I haven't fully figured it out because I haven't seen an ARPG with
for a counterattack.
full auto like this unless it was a MMO. MMOs I've seen recently doing things like this. So, ooh, we're running down the clock here. So let me know what y'all think. Where are you at in the game? Do you like it? Are you playing it? I know there are so many more content creators worth watching than me, but it's okay. I'm out here. I'm still gonna enjoy it because like the game is hella sick, and I've been waiting it for a while. And right now, it is. It just feels good to play. So whether I make content with it moving forward will probably not be dependent on whether I like the game or not. It'll be more dependent on whether or not I'm capable of not matching, but like finding a space where people are interested in watching me struggle. Because God, I'm gonna struggle, and I mean that's not. Maybe that's bad. Maybe that's not. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you so much. I will catch you on the next one. I'll probably stream this again if I get time for it, but I don't know. For now, good luck on all your pulls. I hope you get all the characters that you're looking for. And, you know, like, comment, and subscribe if you guys can. Please and thank you. Every little bit actually counts and matters. And it would be really nice to see y'all, like, kind of where you're at with this game. Thank you.